It's the 7th of November 2017 and you're here with Dan in Essex, UK, down the allotment. So as you can see, it's dark. The clocks changed the other day and we lost an hour of daylight because of that. So I've got the light on the mobile phone here. This is why I'm not looking directly at the camera. But yeah, I had a frost the other night, which did a little bit of damage to certain things. I saw some begonias earlier, and they were absolutely ravaged by the frost. But that's what you come to expect. And winter's certainly not far off now. We could say we're on the transition between autumn and winter, depending on how you want to look at it. Looking around, I saw a few trees. You know, you can see some trees from here. I saw an ash tree earlier on, which, funnily enough, doesn't look like it's lost any leaves. But some trees have well and truly lost a lot of their leaves by now, so the colder weather is definitely here. But looking at the brassicas down this allotment, and they are looking really good. I mean, you can see the see here. Look, I like you know, doing some nighttime allotment walking and tours, because I think you can sometimes get a different perspective on things, and it can be a good time for a bit of reflection. I mean, look at the size of that. That's a Savoy cabbage. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. And if you think of the meals that you can get off of these, although this one here looks like this has been eaten by something, probably has, but yeah, you think of the meals that you can get, you know, still be harvesting at this time of year. Look, another cabbage there, some more kale here. I think this here is purple sprouting broccoli, I think. Let me have a look. Which should come into its own. Should come into its own on the Hungry Gap next year. I've spoken a lot about this sort of thing before. But yeah, what I wanted to do was have a little bit of a chat with you guys tonight, and basically about a little bit of positivity. Now, there's a lot of negativity going around, isn't there? We're not going to go into details. That's not what this channel is about. But you know, is there anything in your own life that you can do to add a little bit of positivity, either to yourself or other people, or ideally to both? So is there anything in your mind that you've been thinking that you might like to do? So things along the lines of, the obvious one is, this is a gardening channel, so would you like to start doing a little bit of gardening? Would you like to play an instrument? Would you like to take up some sort of craft such as needlework, woodwork, metalwork, welding? You know, so many things out there. Would you like to start playing, you know, cards, bridge, something along those lines? And there's so many positive things out there that you can do. And of course, in this world of, you know, seemingly a lot of negativity, you know, sometimes it can be forgotten, you know, that there are many positive things that you can do which really can, you know, impact your life in a good way. For example, I knew a man years ago who used to collect model cars, and it doesn't sound much, but after a few years of this, he really did have quite an impressive collection, and it ended up worth quite a lot of money in the end. You know, so would you like to start a YouTube channel, you know, detailing what your craft is? For example, you know, are you into making jewellery? You know, I'm sure that whatever your craft is, you can put it on the internet and someone will be grateful of what you've uploaded, either just for a bit of entertainment or in order to learn something themselves. You know, if you know how to do a great join on some wood with regards to woodwork, you know, you could upload that and you really could help someone in the process. And I just think that you know, this medium that we've got now of sharing information on social media, YouTube, etc., can be used in such a positive way. Of course, you know, negative things can be shared as well, but that's not what I am talking about. So search yourself and have a think. We'll just go over to the other allotment now and have a look what's going down there. So here we are down the other allotment. You can see here, of course the light's not good, but I've got this covered over now because I'm going to, you know, well, I'm going to definitely set something in it in the spring. But in the next few days, I will be getting some dwarf broad beans and putting them in here. I don't have a massive amount of time on my hands, and this is one of the reasons why I want to put dwarf ones in, because they tend to be more self-supporting than if you've got the ones that grow to a great height that blow over in the wind. So that's what I want to do there. I've got another bay here covered over as well, and what I'm going to do is, you know, chuck some manure on here and set this over again. So I had some really nice comments on a video that I uploaded with regards to stress and social tension the other day. So thank you very much for that, and I hope people found that useful. You know, the comments indicated they did, so that's a good thing. and another video I uploaded with regards to the persimmon tree that I showed. Now, of course, persimmons aren't normally grown in this country. Well, they are normal. You can grow them well in this country. They're not the sort of thing that you think about as a sort of British fruit. When you think of a British fruit, you think of an apple, a plum, or a pear, or something along those lines, don't you? You don't generally think of a persimmon. But that tree has shown that you can indeed grow them, in this country outside. Agreed that in the southeast of the UK here we do tend to get a more favourable climate for that sort of thing than other parts of the UK, but of course if you live in a less favourable area you could maybe consider growing one in a greenhouse or a polytunnel, something along those lines. But that just goes to prove that you can indeed do things that are sort of out of the box. Now, of course, many things in the world in this regard, and growing a tree is not necessarily the most sort of exotic thing to do. But my point is there's something that you wish you'd like to do, then just have a go at doing it. If it's positive and it's going to help you or other people, then give it a go. See, in here I've got some potatoes that I've got to dig up sometime. I've left them in there deliberately. But you know what? I thought I was the only person down here, but there's actually somebody else down here. I can see them. Oh no, there we go. They're just driving off now. But yeah, it's only chilly. I can really feel it. Could try and see if I can get up and show you this silver birch trees. I do love these silver birch trees. I mean, look at that. The way they sort of weep up there. Absolutely lovely. So the message that I want people to take home from this video is that, there's so many negative things out there, influences, etc., etc. And that could be on the news, it could be in the newspaper, it could be other people putting stuff in your head that that you just give too much attention to. But yet there's so many positive things out there that you could also choose to give your attention to. And I fully understand there are people out there in bad situations. It's a different story. But just take a bit of time and think, other than scrolling down that news feed and seeing all that negativity and drawing it in, think of something positive to draw in. Find some people out there that you want to hang around with, that you want to socialise with, not that just you think you have to socialise with. Okay, if you're at work in a job you don't like, or in a job you do like, and there's colleagues that you're forced to hang around with, different story. But if there's people dragging you down, maybe tell them, or at least lower your exposure to them. Sometimes you have more control over things than you think. And sometimes you're conditioned to think that you don't have that choice. But in many ways you do. My own example, for example, with regards to allotment growing, if I want to learn a lot, firework over there, I'm going to hang around with people or socialise with people that know a lot about growing. If you want to get into, maybe you want to do something like making movies. I'm not just talking about a guy like me with a camera on his mobile phone filming allotment videos. I'm talking about movies. Find a way of doing it. You never know where it might take you. It might take you nowhere, it might take you somewhere. You want to do knitting. You never know, you might tap into some talent that you really didn't know you had. So, what I'm saying is give it a go. Give something a go that's positive. Put that news feed down. Stop going through Facebook and looking at all this stuff. Some of it is positive. Who cares about some of the stuff on there? Think of some of the, share this and it shows that you care about me. We cared about people long before Facebook existed and social media. I remember when I was a kid writing letters to people. What a thought that would be, to write letters to someone. get into writing. You guys get the idea. Have a good evening.